We're running around putting out fires. I mean, that's the reality of any business that we work with, and the importance of leaders showing up and building those cohesive teams in a way that they do have each other's back.
You know, we've been talking about working up at the Leadership Center at Sugar Lake Lodge and how we're integrating the L3 model of leading self, leading others, leading the business, and the leadership work we're doing with Chef Marshall, and how your food philosophy and nutritional awareness really makes a difference. A lot of this in that second phase around leading others is around teams and developing team performance. And while we've heard a lot about that, the forming, storming, norming, performing, there is an element of that staircase also that we like to use around building leadership awareness, building the design for what am I seeing happening with my people, and then how can I begin to make some shifts or some choices like we've been talking about to help them do even better.
Yeah, well, another model that we introduce is the team performance model, the Drexler-Sybbett team performance model, which outlines 7 stages that teams go through as you create and sustain high performance. And that first one is around team identity, really saying, who are we as a team, why do we exist, and how do I fit in? And then we get into trust, and I'm asking, who are you? And you're asking, who are you? And I'm deciding, can I trust you in terms of competence? And can I trust you in terms of character? And then in stage 3, we're moving into goal clarification and really sharing explicit assumptions, making sure we have a shared vision of the future. And then getting into commitment of people's time and resources, and then implementation in stage 5. And ultimately, we're trying to hit that high performance in stage 6. Not all teams get there, but it's a really special place to be if you can get there. The work is no less, but if you've been on teams like that, which I know you guys have.
The Swiss watch you want to create.
Exactly. The work is no less, but it doesn't feel like the same amount of work.
Right.
And then stage 7 is really around recognition and creating that change mastery and that staying power.
I mean, it's recycling back, celebration.
Exactly. And it really points back to stage 1 around team identity. What does it mean to be part of this team? And then going through and building trust, and all important elements of creating high performance.
You know, that makes me think of a classic example of a group we've worked with would be firefighters. And, you know, they are trying, they have the shared goal of, you know, helping save lives, whether it's a car accident or it's a fire, or whatever the case may be. And a big thing in their mind is they want to be safer on the job, they want to be more pain-free the next day, and specifically they're thinking, if I go down at a big crisis event, can my partner get me out? So, well, we now know the role food can play, and if they are eating the right kinds of foods and they have a nourishing philosophy, a nourishing plan for themselves, that's obviously going to be to their advantage. And they have to also have that trust, like you were saying. They know what their goals are, is to support the community, be safe, and this nutrition philosophy, this food philosophy will help them be able to do their jobs better. And the sad reality for firefighters is, nationally speaking, they have a 12-year shorter life expectancy rate than non-firefighters. I mean, that's a real thing to think about. Now, that's a very dramatic example, but when you create that culture, when you have that group where they feel that they've got each other's back and they're using shared tools and everyone's on the same page, that is very powerful. And it's less dramatic but equally as meaningful at home when, you know, the parents are trying to use these foods to empower their kids and enrich their kids' lives for a better quality of life today and for longevity. I mean, that's real stuff.
And your firefighter example is a very tangible example. But if we look at the analogy we always use around, we're running around putting out fires. I mean, that's the reality of any business that we work with, and the importance of leaders showing up and building those cohesive teams in a way that they do have each other's back.
Right, and I think that's what's so great about this leadership cohort model, is that it's part philosophy, part really useful leadership tools, and then we integrate it with yoga and your food nutrition plan, so that, you know, we can't lead in a vacuum. We can't learn in a vacuum. We've got to put it into an environment where we are the whole person making these choices. And I love that, fighting fires. I want to have the right tool at the right time. And by giving you a lot of tools, yours included, this really helps us respond in the right way.